my nephew.
Superintendent Baldessari, Secretary of Education for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Mr. Paul Revel, is not here. Mr. Scott Hemlin, School Committee Chair Maureen Donnellan, class officers, parents, family friends, faculty, staff, and the class of 2011. Thank you for attending the commencement ceremonies for the class of 2011. I would first like to take a moment to thank a few people. I would like to thank all of my fellow classmates for their increased devotion and hard work in making the past week, and especially the past 6 years, a safe and enjoyable time. I also like to thank my fellow class officers who always showed up when I needed them and took charge of many individual activities, making my job a lot easier. I would also like to extend a large amount of gratitude to our class advisor, Mr. Parsons. Who has been there for us whenever we needed him, pulling things together for us at the last minute, like prom, and for not only being a class advisor, but also a mentor. I would like to thank all the teachers, past and present, on the Mahar faculty, who have had an impact on this class. You have put up with us in the classrooms, even when we might be a little difficult and stubborn to work with, but your mindfulness does not go unappreciated. If it were not for teachers like you, then we would never have grown up into the adults we are today. Lastly, I would like to thank all of our parents for guiding us and standing by us through the journey of high school. I would specifically like to thank my parents, who have always been there for me and put up with my teenage behavior, and I would especially like to thank them for coming to see me graduate on their anniversary. Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad. Now that we have our diplomas and we're finally on our way out the door, I'd like to share a few thoughts with you. It's hard to believe that I'm in front of you saying this because it seems as if it were just yesterday when we all got to Mahar, herded up and nervous, about this big new place we were going to be calling school for 6 years. To say the least, things have definitely changed since that day. We've become closer as a class, and more importantly, we've got a little bit wiser, a little bit smarter, and a lot more grown up. I'd like to share a little of the wisdom I have gained with you. As I ran at the Western Mass track meet last weekend, I was on the 3rd lap of my mile, the last lap of my high school running career. And running was not what was going through my head. I was reflecting on what had gotten me to that point. Suddenly, I had an epiphany. I realized something in that moment that I had never realized before. I realized that there are no limitations to how far you can go in life. The only barriers are those that you set up for yourselves. I realized that I was no natural star athlete. I had just broken a barrier that others couldn't manage to break. I had just been able to apply myself through hard work and passion. The words of the song, The Theory of Competition, began to run through my head. Here is the thing that makes life so interesting. The theory of evolution claims only the strong shall survive, and that may be true. But the theory of competition says just because they are the strong doesn't mean they can't get their butts kicked. That's right. See, what every long shot, come from behind underdog will tell you is this. The other guy may in fact be the favorite. The odds may be stacked against you. Fair enough. But what the odds don't know is this isn't a math test. This is a completely different kind of test. One where passion has a funny way of trumping logic. Because in the real world, the odds don't always add up. As the song words echoed in my head, I realized that hard work, dedication, and most importantly passion were what had gotten me to that last lap on the track. Those same characteristics lie in every one of you. Developing into successful adults is similar to becoming a successful runner. We start off as young athletes with little knowledge of how the sport works. We have many questions. How to run the race? How many laps? How fast should we go? So in the beginning, we were dependent on our coaches and teammates. As young children, we start off with a basic understanding, but we are still very dependent on our parents and the other adults in our lives. In track, after we've run a little bit or jumped in a few events, we become more familiar with things and we learn the ropes. But we still have a lot of room to go and to expand our knowledge. In life, we have some knowledge, but we still have a lot to gain. But then slowly we start taking steps on our own because we get curious to see, what if? If I do this, what will happen? We learn through trial and error what we can and can't do. We build our comfort zones. And once we have built our comfort zones, we don't normally want to reach outside of them. When we do, it's a rare occasion. But sometimes we get surprised by the results. If we go after something with all we've got, with passion, we can do things that are beyond those boundaries we had set up for ourselves. We find out that the harder we run, the better things will be for us. We begin to practice with everything we've got. We have those moments when we just want to scream at the coaches, and we just may do that. But it's that fire, that passion inside, that keeps our legs moving and our arms swinging, racing against every second on that clock. Once we get a little taste of victory, a small hint of that sweet taste of winning, we turn into a winning machine and we learn to accept nothing less than the best. The same will be true in life as we pursue our careers and interests, as we step outside our comfort zones, work harder, and develop our passions. We will move up the ladder of success. We will win a promotion at our job, an A in a class that we worked our tails off in, or something as simple as extra time to spend with our family. Whatever the reward is, there will be something inside us that will come out and make us want more. When we finally make it to that championship race, the culminating event of our careers, the one moment we have been waiting for our whole lives, we will realize in that moment that within all of us there is that passion to accept nothing less than the best of ourselves. Those moments, when we let that fire burn bright, will be moments like no other. We will fall down time and time again. But those times when we do succeed and see our true potential will keep us moving no matter how hard it may hurt to fall from the top or how bad it feels to lose. If we can stand up, wipe the dirt off our spikes, and start again, then we will have conquered the largest obstacle in life, the doubts about our abilities to succeed. Remember, our passion will keep us running on the track of life, even if the odds are stacked against us. The class of 2011 will continue to be an unforgettable one. Class of 2011, I love you all dearly, and I'm going to miss all of you. But now, we have completed one lap of our race, and it's time for us to move on and develop our passions. Develop those passions. Leave Orange. Leave Massachusetts. Go explore the world, but never forget where you started your race. I do not say goodbye to you because I know I will be seeing you all sometime later in our lives. I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors and wherever life takes you. Good luck and farewell.